January is typically a slow month for gaming as players ease into the new year. But this past month has gotten off to an absolute screamer of news with potentially game-changing announcements and reveals, as well as some much-needed positivity given the perilous state of the games industry at present. And first up on this list is a suggestion from Carrie Plays Games. But before we get to it, a reminder that you can feature in next week's video, which is on video game mechanics that make no sense. So comment down below with your video game mechanic that left you scratching your noggin. Right, and on we go to number 10, Tomb Raider 4-6 returns, old school challenge with new school shine. So here is the suggestion from Carrie Plays Games, which for all the Tomb Raider fans out there will conjure so much nostalgia, and for anyone who hasn't played the classics, this is probably the best way to play them. There is a photo mode added, but much better than that, you can create your own cinematic shots of Lara with the flyby camera, a bunch of new animations, return of classic cheat codes, don't try the nude one, you dirty gits, an ammo counter so you don't spam all your shotgun shells without realizing, and best of all, a cutscene skipper. So if this is your 13th run through, you don't have to waste any time. Tomb Raider 4-6 Remastered release date is fittingly also on Lara Croft's birthday of February 14th. So instead of buying flowers for your partner, why not get this instead? Number 9, Marvel's Rivals retains 90% of its player base since launch. The live service realm is so precarious that even a free-to-play Marvel game had no guarantee of success. So all eyes were on the hero shooter Marvel Rivals when it launched back in December. Though the game unsurprisingly reached 10 million players worldwide within 72 hours, it remained to be seen whether it would have wider staying power. Yet more than a month after its release, Marvel Rivals has managed to keep hold of roughly 90% of its player base. This is a staggeringly impressive figure, given the tendency for even good live service games to shed their population in the weeks following launch. It certainly points to an encouraging future for Marvel Rivals, a result of the game's addictive, easy to pick up gameplay and developer NetEase's non-intrusive approach to monetization. Time will tell whether or not Marvel's Rivals has what it takes to go the distance long term, but this early performance at least ensures it's going to stick around for a good while. Number 8, Crazy Taxi Speedrun dodges DMCA takedown with a live band. Who among us doesn't love a creative and unique speedrun? Case in point, in early January, as part of the annual charity fundraising event Awesome Games Done Quick, speedrunner Chuckles825 offered up a blistering run of Crazy Taxi with a very special gimmick. The legendary Dreamcast racing game famously has an iconic soundtrack of tunes from punk bands The Offspring and Bad Religion, which would naturally cause any livestream of the game to receive a DCMA takedown in record time. But Chuckles825 found an ingenious way to sidestep the issue by bringing in a live band to play the songs alongside his speedrun. Better yet, the band changed the song every time a level was completed, requiring them to pay attention to what Chuckles was doing, in addition to, playing together as a well-oiled machine. The result is a speedrun which not only teaches players a ton about the many game glitches and exploits packed within Crazy Taxi, but also offers a head-banging good time too. Just a pity it ends so quickly, but I guess that's kind of the point. Number 7, Dynasty Warriors Origins is the series' best reviewed entry ever. Despite its enormous popularity, the Dynasty Warriors franchise has never been a critical darling, culminating in 2018's Dynasty Warriors 9, receiving the series' worst reviews to date. Fans have been left waiting 7 long years for the next game of the series, with reboot Dynasty Warriors Origins finally dropping this past month. But the big surprise is it ended up scoring the series' best reviews in its history, with many critics calling it a storming return to form, which rectified many of the franchise's long-standing issues. Dynasty Warriors has felt mouldy and played out for a good while, and it seems that wiping the slate clean and starting again is just what the IP needed. Better yet, Origins has proven itself a strong seller throughout January, suggesting that this relatively niche franchise could be enjoying something of a mainstream breakout amid its critical success. You love to see it. Number 6, Nvidia announces GeForce RTX 50 series. Of course, it was just a matter of time before Nvidia announced their next range of GeForce RTX graphics cards, what with December's reveal trailer for The Witcher 4 being rendered on unspecific new GeForce hardware. And so, mere days into 2025, Nvidia revealed their 50 series of GPUs. The range consists of 4 new graphics cards for desktops and laptops based on Nvidia's Blackwell architecture, defined by hardware-accelerated real-time ray tracing and deep learning technology. technology. Prices are set to range all the way from $549 for the 12GB 5070 to just shy of $2,000 for the monstrous 32GB 5090. Nevertheless, coming in somewhat cheaper than most analysts were expecting given recent global events. Now, while it's fair to say that the 5090 far exceeds the gaming needs of most players, it'll certainly be interesting to see what the new releases of The Witcher 4 can bring out of it in due course. Number 5. The unfortunate and strange milestone of the Elder Scrolls 6 reveal trailer. Now, this is a headline to make you feel the actual passage of time. On January 7th, a mind-melting milestone was pointed out by Bethesda fans, that 2,403 days had passed since the reveal trailer for the Elder Scrolls 6 was released. Why is 2,403 days significant, you ask? That is the amount of time that has passed between the release of the previous Elder Scrolls game Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls 6 trailer itself. It certainly offers a perspective on just how long Bethesda's next RPG behemoth has been in development, even if the company's priority for most of the time was clearly their recent sci-fi game, Starfield. This is all in stark contrast to Fallout 4, which was revealed less than 6 months before it hit the market. Some have suggested Bethesda got the Elder Scrolls 6 teaser out incredibly early to let impatient fans know they were working on it, even if it was clearly only in the embryonic stages. Given that the game has been in active development since 2023 following Starfield's launch, it's unlikely to see the light of day until, get ready for this, 2026 or 2027. Oh, I'm gonna be so old. Number 4, Powerwash Simulator is getting a Wallace and Gromit DLC. The world apparently could never do without enough Wallace and Gromit, and their latest project comes in the form of a paid DLC collaboration with Powerwash Simulator. The cult simulation game has already enjoyed quirky crossovers with the likes of Final Fantasy, SpongeBob, Back to the Future, Warhammer, and even Shrek, and now Aardman's beloved claymation duo are joining the fray. Developer Future Lab recently dropped an announcement trailer which confirms that the DLC would be taking players to the duo's home of 62 West Wallaby Street, which is in desperate need of a good spraydown. Though we don't know much about it yet, the developer also promised that in addition to visiting Wallace and Gromit's homestead, players will get to see cheesy celestial bodies, whatever that means. The DLC doesn't have a release date yet, but Future Lab promises that it's coming soon. Cracking Gromit. Number 3, Speedrunner beats New Super Mario Bros. Wii while playing the piano. Another entry now from Awesome Games Done Quick when speedrunner Wes raced his way through New Super Mario Bros. Wii while playing the game's soundtrack on the piano at the same time. As for how Wes pulled this logically mind-boggling feat off, he used a pair of Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons which had been adapted to control the Wii game, one of which was strapped to his head, the other to his foot, allowing him to play the game hands-free. Wes ended up beating the game in just 42 minutes, all while playing the entire soundtrack on his piano, and even switching to the Invincibility-style music when he picked one up. That's just showing off. And because this wasn't all wild enough, once the run was completed, Wes went back and redid the game's first level, blindfolded. Really? Number 2, Stellar Blade developers get a huge bonus. With games industry layoffs being commonplace at the present, any story about a developer being successful in an ethical way while not peddling some live service slop is an absolutely big thing we should definitely be celebrating. And so with that in mind, it was recently revealed that Korean Stellar Blade developer Shift Up rewarded all of their 311 employees for the game's success with a PlayStation 5 Pro and a cash bonus of approximately $3,400. In addition to strong reviews, Stellar Blade sold over 1 million units within 2 months of its release, and will surely perform well when it launches on PC later this year. Amid a sea of understandable doom and gloom about the games business, it's refreshing to see a company enjoying success with a sensibly budgeted AAA title and passing some of that success onto its hard-working staff. The more stories we hear like this throughout 2025, the better. And number 1, of course, Nintendo Switch 2 is finally confirmed. They did it, it happened, we can all rest easy now. On January 16th, Nintendo formally unveiled the Nintendo Switch 2, which is due for release later this year. After months and months and months of rumors and a growing pile of plausible leaks, Nintendo showed off the first glimpse of their new hardware, which of course retains the supremely popular hybrid handheld console form from its predecessor. Beyond expecting beefier specs, the Switch 2 also boasts a larger 7.9-inch screen, magnetic Joy-Cons which apparently have mouse functionality, and an additional USB-C port among other features. It's basically just a better iteration of the Switch, and honestly, when we're talking about something this brilliant, why tinker with a winning formula? While we've got to wait until April 2nd for a full blowout reveal of more information on the Switch 2, this brief teaser trailer nevertheless whipped fans into a frenzy, aided by first-look gameplay of what appears to be Mario Kart 9. And there you go, that was the top 10 gaming highlights of 2025, and again, if you want to feature in next week's video, let us know what video game mechanics make no sense to you and had you scratching your head in confusion? Comment down below and we'll see you next week.